LEGO Marvel just revealed all of their 2026 January wave, and you are not going to believe some of these sets. So in this video, I'm going to be analyzing all of them, looking at the builds, the minifigures, and the prices to see whether these sets are a hit or miss. So make sure to stay for this whole video because these sets are kind of ridiculous. So what's up LEGO fans, it's LEGO Man Cam, and let's dive straight into the smallest set of the wave, that being set 76335 Spider-Man vs Ghost Rider motorcycle with 72 pieces. This set comes with both those named characters, with a new Ghost Rider featuring all new prints on the head and torso, as well as Spider-Man retaining that arm printing, however not getting the much needed dual molded legs. The bike is small, however compared to some others that we've recently gotten, it's actually a more realistically sized bike. In saying that though, Ghost Rider is often depicted riding sort of comically large bikes as well, so it's not that big of a deal. However, what makes this set a huge hit, in my opinion, is the eye-watering $10 US price point. And just a quick note, some of these sets aren't actually on lego.com in Australia yet, so I'm not 100% sure on the Australian prices, so for this one I would expect it to be about $15. The next set we have is set 76336 Spider-Man car vs Venomized Wolverine with 134 pieces. This set is pretty unique from this wave, unique in the fact that I think it's pretty bad. The Spider-Man figure is the exact same one that we just saw in that other set with no dual molded legs, but what a lot of people are excited about in this one is the Venomized Wolverine, which I think is a great concept for a character and minifig. However, this minifigure just doesn't quite do it for me. Don't get me wrong, it is a cool figure and I would prefer this than another Green Goblin or Doc Ock, but the plain black legs here are very simple and the rest of the print doesn't stick out that much compared to another Venomized character that we'll see later in the video. What does tank this set though, in my opinion, is the build. 8 studs wide with only one seat in the middle, making it look really goofy and like a little Spider-Man just sitting in the middle of this car. And then it has this giant booster on the back, and the set retails for $20 US or an assumed $30 Australian, so it just does not seem worth it to me. I would have loved to see this one at $15 US. So is this one a hit or a miss? I'm gonna give it a miss, but it's not as bad as it probably could have been. The next setup is set 76334, the epic battle Spider-Man vs Sandman with 201 pieces, and this launches a brand new LEGO Marvel sub-theme called Epic Moments. I want to start by saying that I really love this set. For $25, you get Tobey Maguire as well as Sandman and Venom from Spider-Man 3, with all of these figures looking really great. Some arm printing could have been nice on Spider-Man, but the figure doesn't look incomplete without it, and then the Venom is the standout here. Really feeling like more of a Spider-Man looking figure compared to the typical Venoms that we see from LEGO without any of that webbing printing. What's interesting about this build is that it's laid out in a similar way to the No Way Home final battle with that sort of black base, but on a much smaller scale, which makes me just really love the set. In my most recent video, I was discussing how we need more small cheap sets with desirability, and this set hits on all of those notes for me. Is the build super interesting? No, but it does give you some great figures for kids, and it's a nice display piece for adults. And with a 9+ age rating at a $25 US or $40 Australian, you can tell that LEGO was going for an older audience here. Plus, I did not expect to see a Spider-Man 3 set in 2026, so LEGO, if you're watching this video, which I know you're definitely not, please make more sets from the older Marvel movies, X-Men in particular. I would have liked to see this set a little bit cheaper, but it is not far from being worth it with a quick sale, so this one is definitely a hit. Then we have set 76343, which is another epic battle, this one being Hulkbuster vs the Hulk with 413 pieces. Just quickly though, if you are this far through the video, please consider subscribing to help us reach our goal of 40,000 by the end of the year. Anyway, this set looks pretty good to me. The build for Hulkbuster looks a lot better than some recent ones that we've seen, especially any of the ones that don't actually include a Hulk for the mech to fight against. There are a lot of pieces dedicated to the stand and accessories, however I think the overall display here looks really nice, and I love that the flying fist here is being simulated with that clear piece. piece. Both Iron Man and Hulk are brand new, Hulk having a new head print, and then Iron Man featuring some side arm printing. Finally, LEGO has done this because, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I cannot remember seeing arm printing on an Iron Man figure since Silver Centurion. Anyway, I hope this can become the norm for Iron Man minifigures because this just looks so great. The price at $50 USD or 80 Australian does seem a little high though. I wish we could see a big fig Hulk in a set that was cheaper than $50 US, but it does seem unlikely these days. I would like to see this set down at about $40 preferably, but still, it's another hit of a set. Our second biggest set comes in at 781 pieces, and this is set 76342 Spider-Man vs Mysterio at the Daily Bugle. This is a really interesting set because of course we had a Daily Bugle not that long ago, but it was absolutely massive and really expensive being a part of the Marvel modular line, so this is a really nice return to a cheaper and smaller set. There's a lot going on here, so I'll start with the minifigures where we see Spider-Man, Miles Morales and Ghost Spider as well as J. Jonah, who all look pretty bad and just basic to me because both the Spider-Verse figures were done so much better in the CMF, and Spider-Man should definitely be getting his dual molded legs in a set of this size. However, the remaining 3 minifigures are all pretty awesome. Rhino reuses that head mold from the Amazing Spidey Friends set, however the rest of that figure looks a lot nicer this time. Venomized Captain America looks phenomenal and I think is my favorite minifigure from this entire wave. The balance between Venom and Cap feels much better here than on that Wolverine minifig, and the dual molded leg is a very welcome touch. Then we also have a new Mysterio minifigure, which minus the rubber cape I think looks great. The iridescent fishbowl piece looks really nice with what looks to be a very old school Lego skull printed underneath, and then the torso and legs are great too. Then if we get into the build of the set, what I love about this is that it's distinctly different than the recent modular one that we saw, where this takes more of a detailed brick building rather than a grey skyscraper. These stickers add quite a lot of detail, and unlike Oscorp, there aren't a ton of pieces wasted on side builds. In saying that, I don't think we needed the Rhino mech to be a part of this set, but if they are ever going to give a character one of these Marvel mini mechs, this is the exact character where it makes sense, so I'm not that mad. In the US, this set will be $100, however here in Australia, it's going to be $180, which is really unfair. A typical conversion rate should have this set at about 150 Australian, so it's definitely overpriced here, but in the US I'd say it's a decent value. So again, just wait for a sale, it will definitely happen. But overall, this set is another hit. Our last set here is set 76344, the Iron Man Mark III Collector's Edition, and although I do not buy any collector 18+ sets, this looks really cool and it's exactly what I'd like to see them do more of. With just shy of 1300 pieces, this build looks immaculate with beautiful curves and lots of those gold printed pieces, not the pearl gold ones, I mean the really like shiny, nice gold ones. The legs are static, but that does give it a bit of better stability on the base, and the torso can move very nicely, allowing you to get the arms in some really nice poses. Plus this set comes with an amazing Iron Man figure, again with printed arms. This being the Mark III of course, and yeah, this is just a really great minifigure to pair with this set. The set does come in with a price of 130 US or 200 Australian, which is high, it's a lot of money, but when you think about it, it isn't quite as bad as what we've seen recently. The Iron Man bust from just this year, a set that I really did not like, came in at $60. So you guys tell me, would you prefer 2 of these Iron Man busts or 1 giant statue? I know that I would prefer the statue, plus it comes with a much better looking minifigure and essentially an extra 400 pieces for just $10 more. So for me, this is exactly where I'd like to see the 18+ LEGO Marvel line go, and give us a couple of sets per year similar to the Minecraft wave that I've recently discussed, because this wave has 6 sets with only 1 being 18+, and all the rest are play sets. So those are all 6 of the sets from this brand new wave, and what I love here is that every set includes at least 1 exclusive minifigure, and I really want that Venomized Captain America fig. I'm hoping that we can expand to more unique characters for the rest of the year, rather than just more Venomized figures, but hey, at least they look pretty cool. Please let me know your thoughts on this first wave in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to help us reach 40,000, and otherwise I will see you in the next one.